Welcome to Morning Glory Farmstead. My name is Lolly, and this channel is all about gardening, animals, and nature. All right, y'all know I like to show you what's going on, and we're going to start with some beautiful sunflowers, y'all. This is one row. Now, I've had so many volunteer sunflowers over the years just because I feed birds that I've really never planted very many. Now, I did some out by the street one time, but that was it. I don't know why I haven't done this earlier in my front yard. I guess I've just always kind of liked the view of the really large yard and the green grass. But y'all, putting these flowers out here was the best decision I could have made. These birds are all over these. And so if they look imperfect, that means they're being used. Look at that one. That is very interesting looking. But anyway, the cardinals and all the finches are the main ones that are on there. And they are just eating the seed left and right. That one right there looks like a heart when you look at it closely. This one here is over 12 feet tall. And I'm loving the variety that I have in these. They're all so different. I've even got some that are orange. Look at this rusty orange color. Now again, the birds have been on it, so it's a little bit bent out of shape, but that's okay, y'all. I grew these sunflowers hoping that the birds would eat those seeds. It takes very little money to buy a pack of seeds to sow them, and then you get months of enjoyment from the birds, the butterflies, the bees, everything. So I just keep enjoying this day after day. It does not get old. If you guys could just imagine how this looks at so many different times of the day. Early in the morning it looks one way, and in the evening when the sun starts to set, they have a completely different look. It is just gorgeous. Now, I was actually getting ready to put my camera out here, and my hand was literally out the window when this hummingbird came. So she's not sitting because I'm right there and she knows there's something different. Normally, when the window is down, she just plops up there and takes a little rest, sits at the Hummingbird Cafe, and has a good old time. And y'all, the sun was still out a little bit, but we got a very light rain, and it was just so beautiful. Now, my daughter's family came over, and my son-in-law was helping me go through all of the pipes and the heavy things that came with the greenhouse to make sure that everything was accounted for. And we let the little dogs out. So Toby, Totsie, and Fitzy were outside playing around. They had plenty of water, but they look like they're just totally dehydrated.
Toby,
believe me,
look,
the water bowl was full. We filled
here.
it more than once. But I kept trying to get Toby and Totsie chasing each other, and every time I'd grab my phone to record it, they would stop because it was so hot. It was like these little spurts of running and playing, and then they would stop. So that was an epic fail, but they had a really good time together. And that's the first time that they've played chase together. So that was really fun to watch. And if y'all have seen my other videos, Toby is my brother's dog that I watch sometimes, and he does really well. Now, here is his first time with a buckbone. Y'all know I have talked about those before. They're organic elk antlers, and all of my dogs love them. They're safe for them to eat, much more so than a lot of stuff that you can get over the counter. And this was Toby's first time with one, and actually it was way too big for him, and he still knew exactly what to do. He loved it. All right, I'm going to show you something that's not so pleasant, but y'all know I'm always showing you what's going on. Well, today I heard my chickens going crazy, and I ran out there to see what was up. I opened up one of the coops, and lo and behold, look what I found. Now, I'll be honest with you. You know I love creatures, and I think he's beautiful. He is huge, and I'm not going to lie, I made a mess of the run and the coop trying to get him out. He was not aggressive at all. He wanted an egg so bad, and I don't want to kill him. I don't want to hurt him. They're really good about eating mice and rats and all the other stuff that I don't need around here. But what I don't like is that he has figured out that these are just easy meals for him. So he was very hungry. I actually took a T-post, got him out of the coop 3 times. And all 3 times right in front of me, he went right back in. And I even tried spraying with water, so you can see here everything is muddy and dirty and disgusting. When I sprayed him with water, it was like it made it easier for him to try to eat that egg. Then I realized, you know, these snakes love water. It cools them off, and it's really helpful to them on these hot days. So really, he just got a spa treatment while he was trying to eat my free eggs. I finally got him on the ground a few feet away so that I could close it. He was so desperately trying to get back in. And honestly, I felt bad, but I don't want him eating the eggs. So he finally went away. And the last thing here before we get into the greenhouse content are the chicks in the bathroom. Y'all, my whole plan for how to name them after my favorite dairy foods and desserts and whatever has gone to pot because their markings that are coming in are absolutely gorgeous. Look at this Silky's feet right here. Can y'all see those huge feathers sticking out on the side? Look at that. Looks like wings on his feet. Or her feet. I think I've got one that's a hen and one that's a rooster as far as my silkies. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, they look like these exotic creatures with beautiful markings. So I'm going to have to rethink how I name them. But I just wanted to give you a quick update. They have at least tripled in size since the last time I showed them. More to come on that with better lighting. All right, guys, in the last video, I said I wanted to share my experience with this Grower Solution greenhouse in case some of you find it helpful. If you have been thinking about the possibility of a greenhouse or a high tunnel, or maybe you're just curious to learn more, I think this video is gonna offer some valuable information, and especially if you're like me and you've never owned your own greenhouse. Now, keep in mind, they have some that are smaller, shorter, and definitely much larger than the one that I got. So it's all about your goals and your budget. All right, you guys, I'm hearing thunder in the background, so let me see if I can get through this. Now, as I've said in my last video, this was just a gift from someone in my personal life, and now I'm working my way through the process, and I've learned some really good lessons, so I think this video is gonna offer a lot of value. Now, the first thing that I wanna tell you is that I've now been through all of the boxes, I've got through all of the hardware and the items that have been sent, and it seemed that everything was accounted for except for one item, which I will discuss in a minute. Now, there were a couple of things that confused me in the packing list when I was comparing it to what I saw when I went through all of the hardware, but a quick call to Josh in shipping was all I needed. So he cleared it up and we're good to go. So go through all the information they've sent you, do your due diligence, but if you have questions, do not hesitate to call them. Now, the second thing that I want to bring up is that today I ordered a kit that I need in order to hang the fan and the shutter, because when I placed my original order, I didn't realize I was going to need it. Now, you don't have to buy that kit. If you're skilled and you can use wood and figure out how to hang the fan and the shutter without it, then go ahead. But there's no way Pops and I have the expertise or knowledge on how to do that. And we have limited resources and people available to help right now. So anything that we can do just to make the process a little bit easier is the route that we're going to take. Plus, the kit they send is going to last longer than wood. So I got that ordered today and I should be receiving that soon. Now, the third point I want to discuss is super important and valuable when it comes to deciding what you want to buy and what's going to fit into your specific goals for your garden house. A lot of what I've seen on YouTube is really more the high tunnel part of the greenhouse, and being able to heat the house is really what makes it a greenhouse as opposed to a high tunnel. Now, this is the way that it was explained to me, and I also did some research and I found that same information online. So the heat, the fan, and the shutter, those are more of a customization or add-on to the base kit, and so there's really not a set of hard and fast instructions. So again, you'll want to think about what is the goal of the garden house. Now, if you're simply looking to extend your growing season or have a place to start seeds a little early, then you don't necessarily need the heater. In some really warm climates, you can grow in a high tunnel without heat almost all year, especially if you just want to grow varieties that are cold hardy. Now, where the heater comes in handy is if you live in a colder climate where growing in the winter probably wouldn't even be an option without heat. Or like for me, I want to be able to grow more of the spring and summer foods and varieties during the winter so that I'm getting more of a variety of nutrients and organic food because of my health. So you can get one with or without the heat. And of course, the more equipment you add, the more it's going to cost. Now, this brings me to the fourth point. If you get the heater, the fan, and the shutter, and the two small fans that help circulate the air, you're gonna need to run electricity to the greenhouse. And because I'm so new to this, you guys, I thought the heater was electric, but that actually runs with propane. So the items that use electricity are the shutters, the big fan, the two small fans, and the two thermostats that tell the fan and shutters what to do based on the temp. And then again, the heater is going to run on propane. And so in addition to running electricity to the greenhouse, I need to look into propane and also how I'm going to get the water to the plants in the greenhouse. All right, guys, so this is where I am in the process, and there's gonna be a lot more to come. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and that it gave you some things to think about. I'll see you real soon in the next video, and until then, y'all have a great couple of days. Bye-bye.